Hey, Rev here, Rebecca, but just not Becky, and Albert. And as usual, you know where Poppy is, sleeping on a warm blanket. I'm gonna go take Albert over to join him. I am filming this today on Groundhog Day, February 2nd, which happens to be the anniversary of the day of my birth. Today I am 48 years old. That is pretty darn old. I have to say, I don't generally struggle with birthdays. I haven't minded getting older because in my head, I don't really feel old. My body is starting to feel pretty old. That has been starting to feel old for a while. But I have been struggling with this birthday for a while, I will say. I struggled a bit with 38 also. I don't know what it is about the 8s. I think because they really feel close to that next decade. So yeah, I've been struggling a little bit about 48. I will say I've been feeling a little depressed for a little bit. Yeah, it could be a little bit of a menopause starting too, maybe. The change, as they used to say. We'll just say menopause. I don't know. That's been going on for a while. But we'll just move past that. And I thought that it would be interesting. We'll just say that I'm not becoming old, I'm becoming wise. Not just a wise ass, but wise. So I thought maybe what we would do is just have a little talk. And I would talk about maybe what I have learned, life lessons of a 48-year-old plant person and woman. Things that I have learned in my 48 years that may or may not help you, that apply in some way to life in general and plant care. How about that? Okay. And I think I have got like 7 of them. And they're not going to be in any particular order. Now, these are just mine. Take them for what they're worth. If they do something for you, that's grand. I hope that they do help in some way. And if they don't, throw them in the trash. Ignore them. Forget them the second that they're out of my mouth. Okay? Okay. So the first one, I'm going to read these because, remember, I'm 48. The memory is not what it used to be. And it was never very good. If something isn't helping with a problem, try something else. Not everything needs the same thing. Okay. So this, when we're talking about plants, let's just say yellowing leaves. Say you've got 2 plants, 2 different plants, and they've got some yellowing leaves. Don't try the same thing necessarily with both plants, just thinking, oh, I've got my philodendron silver sword has had some yellowing leaves recently, and I've got a begonia over here that's had some yellowing leaves. Now, I could think, 2 of my plants have yellowing leaves. Must be the same thing. Let's just say what I think it is on my silver sword is that it's getting too much cold air because my windows are drafty. So it must be that my begonia over here has yellowing leaves because it's too cold also. So I'm just going to move both of them to a warmer spot. Let's say it's warmer over here by my bearded dragon enclosure because she has heat lamps. And the problem should be fixed, right? Right, that makes perfect sense. So now I move both of them over there. It's darker over there because it's not by windows, but it's warm, so they both should be fine. Makes sense, right? Well, let's say it did that, and a week later, now both of them are getting more and more yellow leaves. Well, what the heck? I did the same thing. They both had yellow leaves, but nothing's gotten better. Can't imagine why. Well, they both had different problems. They were both getting yellow leaves, but they both had different problems, so I couldn't treat them the same way. So I had to figure out why they're both getting yellow leaves. So, turns out the begonia, maybe it had been underwatered. Maybe it had a pest. Maybe it was getting not enough light or too much light. I need to figure out why it was getting yellow leaves before I can find a solution to the problem. And then the solution has to relate to the problem. Moving it just because some other plant had yellow leaves isn't going to make a difference. And because it was by a cold window, my silver sword getting yellow leaves, moving it across the room to a dark spot where it's warmer probably isn't going to fix the problem. That's why I put saran wrap all over the windows. No, I still don't know if that's going to fix its problem, but at least I tried something, right? So, how does it relate to life outside of plants? My dogs are both pooping on my floor. Like that would ever happen. Well, same problem, right? But can't handle it in the same way because one of them is just dumb as rock, right? And the other one, totally different issues. Well, maybe one of them just needs to go out more often. Maybe the other one just can't be put down on the floor ever. I have to deal with them in different ways. Problems need to be dealt with in different ways. One might have an issue that he needs to go to the vet for because maybe he's got incontinence. I need to figure out what the problem is before I can deal with it. One might just have grown up living in a cage up high off the ground, has no clue that he has to go outside to the bathroom. I need to identify what the problem is and then fix it in entirely two totally different ways. Okay, that's one. Here's another one. Number 2, second one. No matter how much you love someone, no matter how much you try, they may always break your heart, and maybe over and over again. How does it relate to plants? Well, you may have a pink princess philodendron. You may have whatever your dream plant may be. And for whatever reason, whether it's your conditions in your home, whether it's pests, whether it's you just not being able to figure out what care it needs, it just might suffer over and over. It might get spider mites over and over, or mealybugs over and over, or the leaves might just drop constantly. And whatever you try, how many places you put it, how many treatments you do, how much research you do, it just breaks your heart. It just keeps losing all of its leaves, or it just shrivels up, or, I mean, you could try a million different things. Research the heck out of it, and it just keeps failing and failing and failing. You've tried cutting it and propping it, and you've done everything, and it just keeps breaking your heart, no matter what you do. Sometimes it just happens, right? Well, with people, sometimes it's the same way. And sometimes it is the people you love the very, very, very most. What do you do? I guess it depends on who the person is, right? If it's like a relationship, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. If it's breaking your heart, like hurting you, and it's a relationship, it might be time to cut your losses and go, right? If it's not healthy. But what do you do if it's a child, a parent? Children, if you're a parent, you know it can just break your heart daily or over and over in a day, right? No matter what you do. You just keep loving them. Sometimes no matter what you do. Just keep loving them with more and more of your heart. And you let it get broken over and over and over and over. No matter what you try, you just keep trying other things, right? And sometimes trying is not doing anything. But your heart will get broken over and over and over. And that's just what you do. That's life. What's the next one? Number 3. Number 3. Don't wait when you see an opportunity, because it might not ever, ever, ever come again. Ever. For reals. With a plant, you see a plant you really, really, really want in a plant shop or online or in a trade, and it's a great deal. Or you happen to have a little extra money in the bank, and you think, I'll see it again. I shouldn't. I'm not going to do it this time. It'll come up again. All right? Maybe there's just a little something wrong with it, a brown leaf, or maybe it's a little smaller than you think, but maybe not. Maybe it's awesome. And you think, it'll come around again. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. Might not. If you really, really, really want it, it's your dream, and you can get it. Go after it. It might never come back. I'm 48. I've had some dreams that I didn't do. Things I didn't go for. Things I didn't grasp when I had the chance to. They were right there. I was going for them. And I chickened out. And I never had the chance again. Don't do that. Don't chicken out. Things I had the chance to get or to do, to go, places to go, people to meet. And I didn't do it. I'll get to do that later. I'll get to see them later. I'll get to talk to them one last time. Nope. Didn't get to do it. Didn't get to see them one more time. Didn't get to talk to them. Didn't get to get that thing. Didn't get to go for that job. Didn't happen. Chickened out. Bailed. Nope. Don't do it. Go for it. If it's your dream, do it. Number 5. Sometimes it's just healthiest to send things out of your life. Might sound harsh. Might not. But sometimes it is healthiest to cut something out of your life or send it on its way. With plants, we've all had that plant that has tortured us, driven us crazy. And maybe you were like, I can't just get rid of a plant. I can't do it. I feel too bad. I feel too guilty. It is a plant. Bottom line, it's a plant, right? So I had this Hoya. I loved it. It was humongous. I got it from someone, random stranger that I met at a plant shop. She saw me wanting to get an ID on this tiny little Hoya that I liked, but I didn't know the ID on, so I asked. And she happened to be an employee of the shop, and she's like, don't buy it. My mother-in-law died and I got this huge Hoya of hers. It's the same one, and I have all these humongous cuttings. Come back in a couple of days and I will give you cuttings of this plant. I'm like, are you crazy? Are you nice? That's so nice, right? So nice. So she did. And it was huge. I rooted up all these cuttings and planted. It was massive. I did a video on getting rid of all of these nasty mealybugs that came much later, not with the plant, mind you. They came much later, like a year later. I fought the mealybugs on that plant for ages. I could never get rid of them. They'd go away, they'd come back, they'd go away, they'd come back. It was horrid, and it spread to other plants. Finally, I just gave up, and I threw that plant away because I wasn't going to give that plant to somebody else and give them the problem and give them mealybugs to spread to all of their plants in their collection. I wasn't going to sell it and sell mealybugs to somebody. And I was done. I was just done. It was causing me so much stress and anxiety, frustration. It was wrecking other plants. So I got rid of it. I threw it away. And it was okay. And I'll tell you what, I was so much more relaxed and relieved after I did it. And unfortunately, sometimes it's like that with people. Unfortunately, it is. And sometimes that's really important people in our lives too. Sometimes it's really important people. It's sometimes family, and sometimes it's really close family. In my case, it was my whole family. I have a very small family, but it was all of them. Except for my girls, of course. Just me and the girls. But I'll tell you what, I'm a whole lot healthier for it. And it took a very, 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 very long time to get to that point before I was brave enough to do that. Like 20 some years, okay. But once I did that, it was life-changing in a very good way. And I would do it again. I would do it again. Sometimes it's a small thing. Sometimes it's a store, right? You refuse to go in a store because there's someone who works there who's just nasty. I'm never going in there again. Well, good. Don't. If it's not healthy to go in that store, go to a different store. Get your lotion at a different Bath and Body store. But it's the same with friends or family or coworkers. You do what's healthy for you. Sometimes it's healthiest to cut toxic people, plants, whatever it is, out of your life. It shouldn't be the first thing you do, but if you can't resolve something and it's really toxic for you, do it. Okay. number 4. No, I don't know what number this is. Number 6, maybe? Follow your dreams before it's too late. Because although people say it never is, sometimes it is. Truly. With plants, maybe this doesn't apply too much. I mean, maybe, I don't know, are we going to run out of plants? Probably not. Maybe because of the cost of plants, some of them just became unrealistic, with the rising costs of plants. Maybe that makes it too late, but they'll come down eventually. You could still get maybe a trade or a gift. I don't know. But in life, which really this is what we're talking about, sometimes your dreams, well, sometimes it is too late. And this is something that I've really been struggling with recently. There's a career that I have dreamed of and thought of for 20 some years. And twice in the past, I actually went for it, kind of half-assed. Once I went, interviewed, I got through a couple steps and I interviewed and panicked and pulled out. That's what he said. Another time I kind of went and then didn't. Well, now, in my ripe old age, finally, was like, yes, gonna do it. And then really started, really researched it and was really serious. Then I really looked hard at stuff. I'm not going to get into it. And really did a lot of soul searching. My body can't do it. Being brutally honest with myself. My body can't. My back, my knees, my arthritis, my neurological stuff with epilepsy, and I'm 48. My body can't do it. It's too late. I waited too long. Sometimes it's too late. Don't wait. If you have a dream, do it before it's too late, because sometimes it is. Grab onto your dreams. Go for them before it's too late. You can do it. Don't chicken out. Do it. I think I only have one more. Last one. Sometimes, and quite often, you have to get seriously cut down before you can grow bigger and stronger and more beautiful. We all know that's true with plants. How often do we have to cut and chop and prop and prune our plants before they flourish, right? Most of our plants, when we cut them, they put out new shoots, new growth, new leaves, blossoms, blooms, flowers. Think about it. When you chop something entirely off and you have to propagate it again, and it has to shoot new roots off entirely and grow, it's growing in your conditions entirely. And it couldn't grow stronger or more beautiful. It's amazing. It's the same with a person. Sometimes you just have to get cut down to nothing. It's like with me. When I hit rock bottom in my addiction, I had nothing. I lost everything in my life. I lost my house, lost my new car, lost my new motorcycle, and oh my God, it was my dream motorcycle. I almost lost my kids. I didn't have them for a few months while I tried to get clean. I lost everything. I had nothing. I was 2 days away from being completely homeless, and then went into a series of ghetto apartments, right? And now it's all better. I mean, it's not all better, like life's not perfect, but I mean, I'm the best person I've been probably ever. And it's because I got cut down to nothing. That's how life works. We grow, we learn from our mistakes, we grow from the hardest times, make us stronger and more beautiful. So, don't take those awful times and wallow. Take them as an opportunity to grow bigger and stronger and bloom. And the last thing is always remember that gratitude is the source of happiness. That's how I try to live my life. I learned it in recovery, but it's so true. Be grateful. Appreciate what you have. With your plants, don't always be in search of the next great thing. Appreciate what you have. I just spit everywhere. Appreciate the gorgeous things you have. From the most common of plants to the fanciest plant in your collection, appreciate them all. Appreciate the new little tiny leaves. Appreciate the oldest leaves in your plant. Everything. Appreciate them. They're gorgeous. And appreciate every little thing you have. When you wake up, appreciate the sunshine. Be grateful. Even if you have a monster headache, appreciate that your finger doesn't hurt. Appreciate that you're alive to feel your headache. Find something to be grateful for in every moment. That's the source of happiness. All right, well, I hope that you found something valuable in all of this. And I hope you have a plantastic day. Remember, seriously, just go for your dreams. Don't wait. It's why I'm struggling right now. It really is. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what I've accomplished in my life. But I really do wish I would have gone for what I really want to be doing. I just need to think of a way to somehow fulfill that part of what I'd like to be doing. I'll figure it out. So you have a plantastic day. Be grateful. Be kind. Go for your dreams. Don't do crack. Wear a mask. Love one another. Yeah. Try not to be 48 for a while. Yeah. Don't do menopause. Stick with your period. Adios.